Oh, here we go. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving your perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else here in Lake Worth, Florida, Lake Worth, Palm Beach area, Florida, for a 5K. It's called the Loop for Literacy. I saw it. I actually got the flyer from the 10K that I ran last month, and I'm like, I'm in that all day. So getting ready to start. It starts in about 30 minutes, and if you keep up with these videos, then I get kind of antsy. If I don't get my run in before about 6 o'clock, I get a little antsy. So looking forward to get this thing started. Looking forward to getting rolling in a couple minutes here. Just the bathroom, hydrate a little bit, and as always, just try to place, try to get it done, try to get things done. All right. As far as today's Move Swiftly thought, it's all about not taking the moments for granted. It's especially myself being a teacher and having an effect on a lot of young lives. Yesterday was a kind of a sad day at the school in which I teach at. If you don't know, I teach at a school named Center for Creative Education, and it's a brand new charter school, K through 5. And when you're dealing, what I've been learning as I've gone through this process is dealing in the startup space, trying to open up a brand new school or create anything in which kids are showing up regularly is a challenge, because it really inconveniences the parents. The parents got to come in or drop them off, pick them up. They have to make arrangements and all that. And not only that, it's difficult to keep the kids in the school when you have to make those arrangements. And then when you get attached to certain kids, when you get to know certain kids, you start to see progress, and then they got to go back to a situation in which they were in before that was not a great situation, and that you could have helped, or you helped them, you saw them progress. All that kind of stuff kind of tugs on your heartstrings, and that's part of the business of being a teacher. So yesterday we lost 2 kids. Well, they weren't, we didn't. The 2 kids there was the last day, we'll say like there's the last day of a brother and a sister too. The combination that reminds me so much of myself and my sister, my niece and my nephew, same combination. It was the older sister and the younger brother, and, they ride for each other, and, they're going through some things in which they would have loved to stay at the school, but seeing that the circumstances were not ideal, they had to go back to a public school situation, or a situation in which or situations in which were not ideal for them to be in, and all that kind of stuff. And it was a sad day. There was I wasn't crying, but there was definitely a lot of tears shed, or just a lot of heartfelt goodbyes. I actually bought him, goodbye. We had a little ceremony for them at lunch. I bought him a basketball, kind of told him to keep his head up. In fact, he was one of the kids that I gave my coloring book to, and all that kind of stuff. And all that brings me to today's topic, today's Move Swiftly thought, which is you cannot take these moments for granted, all right? Especially when you're in the teaching world, when you're in the world in which you're affecting young people, which pretty much all of us are at some point. We have to, be examples for the younger people and leave the world better than we had it. You can't take these moments for granted, all right? I remember my mother used to tell me that all the time, especially growing up, and she would drop me to practice here, and we do this, we do that. She would always say, you're gonna miss these days, man. You're gonna miss these days in which you interact, and you're young, and you're able to affect lives in a positive way, all right? Which means every single day you gotta be about it. Every single day you gotta be out there burning, so you can leave that positive effect. And I'll close you out with this. Just even when I was going to register for this, one of the reasons that I actually registered to do this 5K is because it involves books. It involves encouraging young people to become readers, encouraging books for the kids, and recommending books and all that kind of stuff. And just so happened that I connected with a couple people that can help me, or help push the cause, push the books that I've already published, and work with them on some things. And this is a Saturday. They were supposedly supposed to be off from work. And that's the point I'm trying to tell you. Don't take the moment for granted. Don't take the ability to teach for granted. Don't take any of this stuff for granted, because again, we won't see the reward now, but we'll see the reward when we decided to commit our lives to a certain lifestyle. We've committed our lives to doing a certain thing and affecting change in a positive way. We'll start to see young people, recognize this, and young people show some appreciation for the work we put in, but we won't necessarily do it for that. We do it because we just have to do our part, you know. And one of the more rewarding parts of yesterday, and by the way, the kid who left, the younger brother, me and him would have wars. I mean, we'd go at it. Like he was like a little me, where we'd just be going back and forth and shouting matches and all that. And I remember this look in his eye as he was leaving. He just kind of looked at me and said, "All right, thank you, Mr. Aswand, thank you." You know, thank you. So that's what it's all about, man. Making sure we're doing our part to help the next generation, and making sure we're doing what we can, whatever it is we can. It can be a very small thing, very small steps. Whatever it is we can to help the next generation, make sure you're doing it, and do not take that role for granted one day. Don't never let a day go by in which you're taking that role for granted, all right? Man whips. Oh, go ahead. It's all good. You guys are with me in the video. All right. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's makeyourmove.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Check it out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.